My name's Jordan Stilwell, and I'm a recording mixing engineer. I also do vocal production, and I specialize in live playback and live broadcast mixing. Back in high school, like a lot of people, I was in a couple high school bands that were terrible. Whenever we would do demos or try to record ideas, I was more infatuated with the actual process of getting the right take, making it sound good. I was much more interested in that than playing my own instrument, and it was from that point that I kind of knew that that's what I wanted to do moving forward. I went to school at the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences in Phoenix, Arizona. It's a great school for kind of learning all the different aspects of the recording industry and getting a good feel for everything. It was a great place to get my feet wet. So my first professional recording gig after school and becoming a runner and an assistant was with a label. I was actually hired on by this guy, Chris Bolden, who to this day is my mentor. Within the first week of working with Chris, he put me in the studio with Stevie Wonder, which I grew up listening to Stevie, so to this day, that's been, one of my best sessions, and it was an absolute dream. I'll never forget, we put the microphone up, and I had it right side up, and Stevie talked into it a little bit, and he said, "I can tell the mic is right side up. It sounds better if you turn it upside down. Can you turn it upside down?" And I was like, "Absolutely, sir." So I first met the Chainsmokers in the summer of 2017. Their playback technician couldn't do a couple of the shows, so I was the fill-in. Working with them was a dream. Like, the guys are amazing, the team is amazing, the crew, everybody, it was just a great time. I was like, I want this gig is awesome. It took a few months after I filled in to where they decided to go from Pro Tools to Ableton for their live shows. And luckily I knew both of them, so they hired me on full time to transition them and to do the live shows from that point on. And little did I know at the time they were building the studio. So after that, things kind of organically, turned into what we're doing today. There's actually a home in the Hollywood Hills that was purchased with the intent of building a studio in it. So after it was purchased, we've converted the entire place into a full functioning recording studio. There's 5 different recording spaces here in the house. Every room shares tie lines. It's perfect for band tracking, rehearsals. We've done a choir out in the main room. It made more sense for us to build our own spot so that, everything's always set up the way we want it. We're not having to rent gear that we might need on a certain day. We're able to set the vibe and the energy up in a way that's best suited for our creativity. My day-to-day working with them currently, I love it because it's all over the place. Never gets stale. Some days we're working on live show productions, some days we're mixing, some days we're tracking, writing sessions. You never really know what to expect when the day starts. Our setup here mainly consists of, a wide array of outboard compressors, EQs, mic pre's, and the main heart of the system is the Symphony I/O MK2. We have 16 ins and outs, which allows us to use anything we need as inserts and get all the inputs that we would need. One of the reasons why we end up sticking with the Symphony I/O is because we went back to an older setup that we had to cut some vocals, and we realized that we were just missing this clarity and this depth that we have with our new setup. Everything in the chain was the same. Once we swapped out the old interface with the Symphony MK2, we were able to get that clarity even in our old rig. What's nice about Apogee interfaces is the ability to be working in the studio and then have to go on the road, and we can go from the Symphony I/O to the Symphony desktop and still maintain that same sound no matter where we're at. In order to succeed in the industry as a recording professional, I think one of the most important aspects is being ready for whatever opportunities come your way, whether that's comping vocals or mixing or whatever the case may be. Once you get that opportunity, being prepared for that is what's going to get you to the next opportunity. I think one of the bodies of work that I was lucky enough to work on that I'm most proud of would be Lana Del Rey's Born to Die album. When we started recording that, she didn't have a huge name for herself, and I wasn't very familiar with her work. I fell in love with her music and her ability to write and her talent, and then to see what happened with that album afterwards was really, an amazing thing to be a part of.